Good morning and welcome to the fifth quarter, Arizona. My name is Danny Neal. I am your co-host for the day. Happy to be here. And as always, want to bring in my co-host, my partner, the man that's on another state run, trying to win that state championship. Got his girls playing good. Everything's fine. And he's smiling. He's at work early today. Got his lighting right. You just got all kind of good things going on for you. Good morning, the man they call Coach, Mr. Coach Tyrone Johnson. How you doing this morning?
Man, I am great. Blessed, highly favored, but doing well. How you doing, Coach?
Man, I'm doing great. I am doing great.
Yeah, you're lighting right. You're looking good. You're looking debonair and distinguished with that beard. I like that.
Yeah, man. I told you I was going to wear this beard. I wasn't going to shave until we get to the championship game, which will be next Thursday night. After we take care of Deer Valley, we don't want to overlook them. They're definitely a quality squad, very formidable. So, how do you feel about Tuesday night against Deer Valley, Coach?
Well, Russell be putting out the stuff in terms of our home win streak and all that type of stuff in the playoffs, so on and so forth. But somebody that's not really afraid of that is Deer Valley, because the last time they came up here, they beat us on our home court. It was in the regular season. And a lot of those players that's playing on this team are back. They were there originally when they beat us, and now they're older and wiser and hungrier too. And so it's definitely not going to be just a lay down task. Something that we haven't been able to do since the snow started. And I know they down there practicing hard. And so defensively, we're going to see a different team than what we've seen probably all season in terms of their aggressiveness, the way they trap, their speed, so on and so forth. And so, I'm definitely not looking past this game. This game is the most important game of the year. And so we got to figure out a way whenever we do get to practice to kind of simulate their pressure and see how we can maintain our composure and be able to, hopefully pick it apart and make some buckets and get some stops.
That's what it's all about, huh?
Yes, sir.
I'm glad you said get some stops too and not just make buckets, because you know how you is. You're all about the buckets.
We're about the buckets, but we lock in, man. We play defense. We lock in.
No doubt. There's no doubt about that. I think that leads to the buckets a lot of times.
That's our philosophy. That's what we want to happen. And you know what I mean? But the thing that's going to get us, I guess, a chance to be able to play for a championship and to win a championship, we're going to have to be the best rebounding team on the floor. And they got some good size. And so we're going to have to box out. We're going to have to be disciplined. Their guards go hard. And so we have to be the best rebounding team on the floor come Tuesday night and hopefully Thursday as well.
So when do you think you're going to get back in the gym?
Man, I'm fixed to call the president today if I got to. I don't know. I'm crossing my fingers that they'll let us get in today, but if not, then I might just go rogue tomorrow and I'm just going in.
You just going in? Just going in, okay. Well, that's all right, man. Well, that's good, and so it's a lot of good things going on. Baseball starting up. I'd hate to be a baseball coach, man, in Flagstaff. A lot of times the first true fly ball you see is your first game.
Right.
Because you can't get out on the field. You're in the dome. If you can't get to Camp Verde to get some outside work in, it's just got to be tough for baseball coaches in this town.
Well, I don't know. Whatever they're doing, and I was going to try and pull it up real quick. I know I seen something. Won. They won like 19-2, so whatever they're doing right. And so, that's a good thing to start off the season. And soccer, they made it to the semifinals, girls soccer, and they lost, I believe it was to Weldon Grove, like 0-2, but congrats to them on a great season and a great run. And, again, hopefully we can continue it for the winter sports.
Right, man. Well, we're going to be there. We're going to be rooting. Want the crowds to come out. There's been great crowds coming, supporting the Lady Eagles, and we want that same support here for this show. So, if you like what we're doing, give us a thumbs up, subscribe. We go live. If that's what you call it, Coach, live talk?
Yeah, man. We live. We big time right now.
Yeah, so shoot us a message or something, and we'll try to answer it, try to get back to you. And once again, we just having fun and celebrating sports in Northern Arizona. A lot of good things going on right now. So just moving right along here, Coach. Our guest today is someone who I've known for a lot of years, and today seeing him this morning is the first time I've probably seen this man in about 25 years. He looks the same today as he did 25 years ago. Exactly the same. Someone that you've known for a long time. You were just a kid when me and him was running around playing softball together and all that. You was just a little snotty nosed kid getting in people's way.
Why I gotta be snotty nose, man? Why can't I have a clean nose?
I don't know, man. I can't just let you off that easy. It's just too easy for me, man. But anyway, without further ado, we want to bring in a man that's just as I was telling him, very relevant to him and his family, the things that has just been awesome. And to have the coach back, we're just really happy to have the coach, Mr. Weldon Mickelson. How you doing, Coach? Good morning.
I'm doing great. It's been fun listening to you guys go back and forth.
Coach, we appreciate you joining us this morning.
I don't envy you, Coach, having to sit at home while the snow comes down, getting ready for the state tournament. That would be a hard one.
Yeah. Look, you the only ones that don't went to a championship back to back to get there. So throughout this conversation, maybe you can give me some little tidbit that's gonna help me out.
Just play good defense.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do that for sure. So, Coach, again, appreciate you joining this morning. You coached the Lady Panthers back in the day. You guys had those great runs in 86, 87. But why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, about what you're doing, your coaching, just your whole career.
We don't have time.
Okay, so let's briefly tell us this.
We'll tell a brief story. I've been teaching and working with kids for a long time. I actually started, in 1970, where I had my first classroom. But we'll fast forward from there. I got the girls' basketball job kind of as a favor to Coach Epperson. He was our athletic director, assistant principal. He asked me one day if I would think about it. I told him really I wasn't interested, but I'd think about it. I decided to do that. And as far as a coaching change, that was one of the better things I've ever done. I really enjoyed working with the girls. It was just great. It was fun. We worked hard. We did a lot of things. We improved. I remember the first game that we had. We'd worked hard, and we went to Williams. Now, Williams, you would think, okay, Williams, here we go. But we went to Williams and got beat. Okay, They just beat us. There was just so it brought some things to me on changing coaching style, refining things, trying to do a better coaching job with kids. And I think it turned me into a better basketball coach. It made me look at things, evaluate better, teach skills. So yeah, we progressed from Williams beating us to at least going to the state tournament and playing in a championship game, 2 times in a row. I think we'd have gone a third time, but we played the state champion that won it that year. We played them in the early rounds, in the semifinal. If we'd have been in a different bracket, I think that we would have come through and at least played 3 in a row. Whether we have won or not, I don't know.
Right. So then, Coach, when did you start? What year did you start, and how long did your career span as the coach over there for the Panthers?
I can't tell you exactly what the year was when I started. I think it was 7 or 8 years. Okay. we had 5 trips to the state tournament in those 7 years. 2 in the finals and 2 in the semifinals. Sometimes, bracketing is the thing that helps you if you're in a good bracket where you can come through that. But like I said, we played the state championship in the semifinals and were eliminated in that. So
good stuff. Good stuff.
Good.
And then
No, go, Coach.
Yeah. No, when you made your first run to the championship in '86, what was special about that team? Or I know that you guys lost that game in overtime, but what was it about that team that got over the hump of that Final Four and was able to make that strong showing in the state championship game?
You were talking about defense, and I was trying to remember some things. It's really kind of situational things, but I remember that we played Snowflake in the semifinals, and Snowflake had beat us earlier in the year on their home floor. And after we played Snowflake, I kind of got to talking with our coaches and talked about some things we'd do different with them. So we met them in the semifinals, and we liked to press and we liked an up-tempo game. And I didn't like to hold the ball very long. I felt if we held the ball too long, we would turn it over and not even get a shot. So ourselves so that we would get a shot quick, and we pressured a lot. But we had a half-court trap press that we moved 3/4 to half court, and we changed it up a little bit. And Snowflake was actually ahead of us in the fourth quarter, going towards the end of the game. So we changed our defense a little bit and went to the half court trap, and we stole the ball 4 times in a row, went down and scored. We ended up beating Snowflake. So we had this kind of, but when we were playing in the state championship game, we were ahead with, I don't know, seconds under a minute to go. And Window Rock had the ball. So they'd called a timeout. So we set our half court trap again. We hadn't used it the whole game. So we just set it one time. We stole the ball. They made a bad pass. Was going down all alone. Now we're up by enough if they get the ball back. The 3-point play wasn't an option then. So the coach jumped up off the bench and ran out on the floor.
Oh, wow.
And they called a technical foul.
Yeah.
But the result of that technical foul was they took the basket away from us. We missed both free throws, and we lost the inbounds pass, and they scored and tied and beat us in overtime. Now, wow. I thought the official, made a bad call. It completely changed the whole tempo of the game. I mean, we went from a sure victory to questionable what we were going to do. The emotional part of that was pretty hard, I think, on our girls. You have an 80% free throw shooter that misses both ends of the 2-shot technical foul. And then we lose the ball on the inbounds pass. What were the probabilities of that? So we go into overtime and we lose. So that's kind of the history on that first one. I mean, we were there, we had it, the game was over, and we ended up runner-up. So that was a tough one.
Wow.
The next year we went, and we lost. We just lost to a good basketball team. I mean, sometimes you just get beat.
Yeah.
And we played well. They were a good team, and they beat us. So.
Yeah. And that's the beauty of this show. As much as I was at the rec center, much as I was around Coconino and these games, first time I ever heard that story. And I know I had to be somewhere around the game or in the Arizona Daily Sun or Channel 2 News back then.
I think that the official just made a bad call. And that's,
was obvious.
It's too bad that happened, but it did. So, we came back from it. Anyway.
Well, that's good. So, coaching girls, because I know you had coached baseball and you did some other things, correct? So, was this your first experience coaching a girls' sport?
Yes, it was.
And what was the difference?
You know what? I learned a lot from the girls. One thing that I learned, they're very competitive. They might not be vocal, but they're very competitive, and they want to do well. They want to play hard. They want to do things. But one of the best lessons it taught me was that losing wasn't the end of the world. They all felt bad at the end of the game if we got beat, but when it came time to go eat after the game, okay, it was time to move on. And I really appreciated that, because I would dwell on things, and I don't think that was good. But it wasn't that they didn't want to win any more than the boys, but they were ready to move on and get ready for something new. And I appreciated that. And we were ready to go to work again, when we got off the bus at home. So that was one of the big things that I think they taught me. And they were, 25 years ago, or however long ago it was, I thought the girls were more respectful of the coach and things. They were more grateful for the things that you did. So that was a good lesson for me too. And I appreciated that with all the girls that we had.
Well, that's good.
Coach, I know you were talking about your second championship run, and the way that first one went down, I mean, personally, I probably would have lost it and got us technicals and all that type of stuff. And so I probably would have.
You would have.
Yeah, just knowing me. But do you think that the way that the first one ended gave the girls extra motivation? I mean, how tough was it to get back to that second one to show that, hey, we're truly like a championship level team?
Like I kind of said, they get over things a little bit quicker than the boys, and a whole lot quicker than I want to get over things. It wasn't even a real topic for us when we started the next season. We just had our outline of what we wanted to do and how we wanted to accomplish those things, and we just went to work and got ready. Maybe in the back of someone's mind, that was there. It was in the back of mine, but it wasn't the overwhelming thing. It was just, okay, this is important. This is important. The steps that we follow and to get there. So, we always felt like, the big thing was we had to win the region. So that was kind of, our first step was to make sure we got there and were able to do that. And I don't know how they run that now, but we always had a region basketball tournament. I don't know if you have a tournament. All the teams went. If you were the outright winner, you were guaranteed a first place seed in the tournament. You had to play through that tournament and win to be. So we always felt, that kind of set the tone for us. If we could win that tournament, we were pretty prepped for what might happen in the state tournament.
Nice. And Coach, we have a live question coming in right now. We got one coming right from Jackie Gensarelli, and we want to know was Coconino in the 3A division during your coaching time?
I don't know how they did those doggone divisions back then, There was a lot of controversy really on because they had a spring basketball league and they had a winter basketball league, and it kept going. I guess we were 3A at that point in time, but it was tough being in the league that we played in.
Who were some of the teams in the league that you played in?
You know, we had Window Rock was in our league for a little while. Chinle, you know, Tuba City, Page, Mingus. Mingus was a tough group of kids back then. They had just won the state championship 2 years earlier than we did, so they had a great program. Kingman High School was in there. Snowflake, Winslow wasn't. They were a class down, but we always played Winslow. They were extremely good basketball team. So those were some of the teams in our region that we had at that point in time.
Yeah.
And who were some of the players that you had back then? And do you keep in contact with any of them?
You know, I don't. I haven't kept in contact. And I don't know that I can put any real names with the sequence of things. I know that a few remember the few of the names from the team that we had that was that played Window Rock. We had a really good outside shooter that if we would have had the 3-point line, I don't think the game would have been close because she could knock it down. So, you know, we had, you know, a lot of other great players. But I don't know if it's fair to just mention one or two or three.
Right. Well, one of them contacted me last night.
Who was this?
And she said that you probably wouldn't know her as Christy McCarron. You'd probably just know her as Chicken Legs.
I do know who that is.
Yes, and she told me to make sure that I tell you hello and let you know how much she appreciates how you used to let them sneak in your office and get your stash of Mr. Goodbars. And she said you always had a stash of chocolate in your office. and she just wanted me to make sure I told you hello and just let you know that she appreciated you and you're one of the best coaches she ever had.
Well, thank you. And I still have a stash of chocolate.
Nice. Coach, you mentioned that your shooter, if there was a 3-point line, the game probably wouldn't have been close. How do you think the 3-point line, the implementation of the 3-point line changed the game? And are you a fan of the 3-point line, or did you like it back when you were coaching prior to that?
You know, I like the 3-point line, but I think there's something else that was more important than the 3-point line. When I started coaching girls basketball, we used the regular boys basketball. Okay.
Okay.
And we used the bigger ball. It was harder to control for the girls. Shooting the ball was more difficult. So when they went to the smaller basketball and they implemented the smaller basketball, I thought the game got faster and better and more fun to watch with the girls. So with the smaller basketball and the implementation of the 3-point line, I thought girls were really able to shoot the ball better. And that was a big deal. So I think, you know, the size of the basketball was more important than when they put the 3-point line in for high school basketball.
And, you know, today they're actually engineering these basketballs to where the kids can shoot further, easier, like the actual official ball that we have to play with in the state tournament and stuff like that. They're engineered a little bit differently. So now these kids can shoot in Steph Curry range a lot easier.
Oh, man.
Right. Just like you had a softball basket where the ball jumps off the bat. Now they got these basketballs where they jump out your hand. It's crazy. But Coach, we have a young lady that sent a live message. Wants us to tell you hi. Hope I get this name right. It's Amara Gromzinski.
Yeah.
Did I get it right?
Yeah, you did.
Look, man, don't start with me. I'm reading. Okay, I sounded it out. Okay. She told us to make sure we tell you hello. She's watching the show live right now. So, Mara, we want to give you a shout out. Coach, she says hi.
Right back at you.
Well, that is good stuff, Coach. It's like we know we've been getting a lot of feedback from this, and we're just happy that you were here today. I see where you're still involved with youth in Utah, correct?
I am.
So what's the big difference from 87 to 2023 in kids in your
big social media. They need to do away with it. They need to just wipe it out where people have to call on the phone and talk face to face.
Right.
I think that's the thing that is that's hard to deal with.
Yeah, well, I think that's it. And so now we've come to the part of our show, Coach, where we ask for a little inspiration. Coach Johnson comes with this question just for you, and we call it our Coach Johnson's Golden Nugget Question of the day. Give it to him, Coach.
Coach, again, I think you were the last coach in Flagstaff to make it to back-to-back state championship games. And so on Tuesday, I'm going to try and accomplish that feat. One, is there any advice that you can give me in preparation as a coach to make sure that we can be victorious? And then two, do you have any tips on mental toughness for the girls going into this next game?
Oh, wow. I don't know if I've got anything on mental toughness. And I don't have a real pearl of wisdom. I should have, yeah. Hard work every day is the key.
Yeah.
You've got to put in the time. And I think that's one of the things I tried to do. Practice for me was my time, and I tried to prepare kids as best I could. Games were for the kids. I never tried to do anything that would embarrass, one of the girls during a game. I never took anybody out of the game after they made a mistake. I always wanted kids to play through that. I felt if someone made a mistake and you took them out of the ball game, they wouldn't hustle the next time because they'd be afraid they'd make a mistake. And we wanted kids to work hard. Something that I've tried to do is I've got some things in my classroom. Attitude determines your altitude. So we work try to create a positive attitude. The other thing is a fresh start. I call it a new start. You get a new start every day. So two things that I really try to focus on is what someone does on Monday doesn't necessarily determine what they're going to do on Tuesday. So you get a fresh start. So positive attitude is a big thing for me, and being able to look at what you did one day, and if you want to make changes, you can make changes. So new start. Attitude determines your altitude. So have a positive attitude and don't be afraid to work and do those things. So I don't know if those two little pearls or anything. Those are two things that I use every day with the kids that I work with right now.
Because I'd like to say that those are really, really good things and you made some very valid points. I hope that Coach Johnson really took to heart what you said today, especially the part about letting kids play through Don't just take them out when things aren't right. I can remember one time in particular, I was in Phoenix coaching a AAU competitive team. And this is my team. They're out there playing. Coach Johnson shows up at the game late and just sits on my bench because that's what we do. My team is out there getting beat pretty bad. I'm trying to get them to do as you say and play through it. He jumps up, not even his team, and calls a timeout.
Coach, in my defense, I'm allergic to bad basketball, and there was a lot of bad basketball going on out there, so we needed to stop that. There was no lesson in that. We had to stop the bleeding. Tell them what happened after the timeout, Coach.
Oh, we went out there and scored about 4 straight, but then we got 20 more scored against us, so that time didn't last that long.
You scored 8 straight. We won an 8-0 run, and then after that, y'all give up. I couldn't help that.
But that wasn't your team. That was your team.
Coach, I had an interesting experience. I was coaching Little League baseball, okay? And the old football coach at NAU, his name was John Simak, and he was the umpire. So I'm standing on the sideline and I'm telling kids, to do this and do that during the game. I'm working hard during the game. And coach and he came over to me and said, Coach, said, it's too late to start teaching. He said, kids during practice. And that's all he said, and just walked off. And I've always kept that in the back of my mind. And you can't coach really during the game. So I really had to look at things, and it made me a much better coach, just thinking about what do I need to get across during practice, because I always hated, I'd watch on TV and the coach would get down there in a crucial situation and they'd be drawing all these X's and O's. And I thought, holy cow, if you haven't practiced this, how the heck are they going to do it? So I appreciate what you're saying. Bad basketball is just bad basketball. So, yeah, you want to make sure you do something in practice to cover that.
Right. So, well, I'm so glad you gave us that little tidbit, and hope he takes that to heart. And sometimes bad basketball is just bad basketball, man. Ain't much we can do about that. We've all been there and done that. So, but Coach, we really appreciate having you on today, and it's funny how we start this off as just the interview and it ends and then turns into a party, and so that always happens. And so we just hope that you had fun. We appreciate you being on today, and it's nice seeing you, man. It's like,
well, it's good to see you too.
Years.
It's been 25 years at least.
Right.
And so, Coach, good luck. I hope you get there.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And are very successful.
Yeah, I hope we can get there and then finally get a gold ball. I've been at this 17 years, and I didn't make it as quick as you, so now I'm trying to get there.
I never accomplished that. I looked at it, Coach Baker, and now, yeah, he got one in boys basketball and one in girls.
One in girls. Yeah. Well, Coach, I always told him that I'm going to wait till a crucial game like this Tuesday night, and I'm going to jump up and call the timeout during one of his games. So it might be this Tuesday night.
And he just don't get a technical on the spot.
Don't jump up and get one of these. Huh?
Look, he gonna be over there in the stands, so I ain't even worried about that. If they give him a timeout from the stands, then talk about that bad call that y'all had. You gonna read about this one.
Coach, enjoy your Friday. Thank you so much for being on. Tell the family and everybody we said hello. And
I will.
This has been a great show.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you, Coach. We appreciate you.
See ya.
All right.
Bye.
Coach, you gotta go to work?
Yeah, man, I gotta go to work. I gotta, gotta do some things.
You at work?
I am, and I gotta eventually start packing this office up, but
can I have your office when you leave?
That's gonna be between you and whoever gets this position.
Nah, don't matter. I'm gonna stay right up there at the front counter where I'm at. They ain't messing with y'all today.
Oh, well, Coach, man, we had a good one today, man.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
Yep.
We did.
And then just want to, again, like Coach said earlier, if you guys are liking what we're doing, make sure you subscribe, make sure you thumbs up, and then also share. Let people know that we're on. We appreciate the live comments today from Jackie and Maura. The more we get like that, the more truly interactive it can be. And so you guys keep sharing it, keep watching, keep spreading the love.
Right. That's right. We're having fun and want everybody to have fun.
Yep. Well, Coach, man, I know you've been out there snow blowing and helping neighbors and all that type of stuff.
Yeah,
and so I want to make sure that you have an opportunity to go all the way down your street and help everybody out since you got that snow blower. So we ain't going to keep you no longer. Look here. We hope everybody is safe out there, that you have a good day. I don't know what y'all got to do today, but I do know one thing. You ain't got to go home,
but you got to leave here. Peace.